The Hinterland Homicides, USA 1985, 1988. Narrator, Sharon Gibson. In the mid-1980s, a pattern of brutal and seemingly random murders began to emerge in the remote, sparsely populated regions of Wisconsin and Michigan's Upper Peninsula. The victims had no clear connection, no shared lifestyle, and the time between the attacks spanned months, then years. The first victim in 1985 was Dennis Kading, a young man shot while parked near his home. 6 months later, Thomas Monfils, a paper mill worker, vanished. After a dispute at work, his body was recovered from a water pit in the mill, initially ruled a suicide before being reclassified as a homicide. Then in 1988, Todd Lemieux, a father of two, was found shot to death near a logging trail. Police struggled to connect the dots. The crimes seemed disparate. Some victims were shot, others beaten or drowned. Yet the isolated geography and the sudden, unexplained violence suggested a potential single perpetrator, operating in the shadows of the region's wilderness. The case of Thomas Monfils was the only one that resulted in a conviction, but the conviction of 6 fellow millworkers was highly controversial, resting heavily on circumstantial evidence and coerced testimony, and the convictions were later overturned or vacated. This led investigators to question if the original ruling was correct. With no definitive link, no consistent weapon, and no clear motive tying the regional victims together, the Hinterland homicides quickly turned cold. They're a haunting collection of regional tragedies where the answers remain hidden in the vast silent forests of the upper Midwest. The Atlanta Chess Murders, USA 1979, 1981. Narrator, Sharon Gibson. Between 1979 and 1981, a chilling pattern of disappearances and murders terrorized the city of Atlanta, Georgia. Over a 2-year period, at least 28 children, adolescents, and young adults, predominantly African American males, were killed. The tragedy was unparalleled, turning a city into a community gripped by fear. The investigation was complex and fraught with racial tension and political pressure. As the death toll climbed, the FBI became involved, leading to a massive joint task force. Initial fears focused on a white supremacist or a complex conspiracy. However, the official focus eventually narrowed to one man, Wayne Williams. In 1981, Williams, a 23-year-old freelance photographer, was placed under surveillance. Police heard a splash as he crossed the Chattahoochee River Bridge, and 2 days later, the body of an adult victim, Nathaniel Cater, was recovered from the river. Williams was arrested and eventually convicted for the murders of Cater and another adult victim, Jimmy Ray Payne. Authorities then controversially attributed 22 of the child murders to Williams, declaring the case largely solved. However, many family members and civil rights activists felt that Williams was a scapegoat and that the true perpetrator or perpetrators were still at large, while Williams remains incarcerated. The official attribution of the child murders to him is often debated. In 2019, Atlanta officials announced that they would retest DNA evidence from the original cases using modern technology, a new effort to bring definitive clarity and closure to a case that defined a generation. The Isdal Woman, Norway, 1970. Narrator, professional, precise, with an international intrigue. November 29, 1970. Hikers near the Isdalen Valley, or Ice Valley, outside Bergen, Norway, found the partially burned body of a woman. She was lying in a remote area, known to be difficult to access. The circumstances were immediately suspicious. All identifying labels had been meticulously cut from her clothing. Near the body, police found empty liquor bottles, a sleeping medication, and burned passport pages. Investigators also noted a distinct, strong odor of bitter almonds, often associated with cyanide. The case deepened dramatically when police tracked down her luggage, at a Bergen train station. Inside, they discovered a chilling collection of wigs, plainclothes, and more than 500 German marks. But again, no identification, and investigators found that she had traveled to Norway and Europe using at least 9 different aliases, often speaking German, French, and English, and consistently changing hotels. Further analysis revealed that the woman's teeth contained peculiar fillings common in South and Central American dentistry, and forensic reconstruction of her jawline suggested she may have been from Eastern Europe. The police's theory was that she was a spy or an intelligence operative, meticulously covering her tracks. Despite a massive investigation spanning multiple countries, authorities could never determine her true name, citizenship, or the cause of her death. Whether the Isdal woman was a victim of espionage or chose to end her own life remains a mystery that the remote Norwegian valley has kept secret for over half a century. The Gardner Museum Heist, USA, 1990. Narrator, professional, refined, with a focus on value and artistic loss. March 18, 1990, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston, Massachusetts, became the site of the largest unrecovered property theft in history. In the early hours, 2 men disguised as Boston police officers talked their way past a security guard, claiming they were responding to a disturbance. Once inside, the 2 thieves swiftly subdued the 2 guards and spent 81 minutes meticulously selecting their targets. Their choices were bizarrely eclectic. They stole 13 items, including Rembrandt's The Storm on the Sea of Galilee, his only seascape, Vermeer's The Concert, and works by Degas and Manet. In a strange detail, they also removed a small, easily portable bronze eagle from the top of a flag. They left with an estimated $500 million worth of art. Curiously, the thieves ignored several other highly valuable pieces in the empty frames where the masterpieces once hung. The museum chose to leave the voided canvas and matting as a testament to the missing works. The FBI has pursued numerous leads over the decades, suggesting the theft was likely executed by a sophisticated crime organization. The statute of limitations has long expired for the thieves, yet the artworks remain missing. A substantial reward is still offered for information leading to their safe return. The mystery is not just who stole the art, but where these irreplaceable masterpieces are hidden, languishing in silence outside the public eye. The Sauter Children Disappearance, USA, 1945. Narrator, Sharon Gibson. On Christmas Eve, 1945, the Sauter family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia, burned to the ground. George and Jenny Sauter escaped with 4 of their 10 children, but 5 children, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, were not accounted for. George Sauter desperately tried to reach them on the 2nd floor, but his ladder was missing, and the only functioning water barrel was frozen, and the fire was so intense that firefighters could only begin searching the ruins the following day. However, the search yielded a shocking result. No human remains were found. Investigators concluded the fire must have been hot enough to completely incinerate the bodies. Yet, an expert later testified that bones should have been found. The children were officially declared missing. The Sauters, believing their children were abducted, focused on a series of unsettling details. A strange phone call before the fire, an unknown man seen watching the house, and the deliberate cutting of the phone lines. Years later, a witness claimed to have seen the children watching the fire from a passing car. The deepest mystery came in 1967. The family received a photograph of a young man who strongly resembled their missing son. Louis on the back, an inscription read, "Louis Sauter, I love brother Frankie, Ilil." Boys, a 90132. The parents hired an investigator, but the lead went nowhere, and they never received confirmation. The Sauters never moved on. They maintained a billboard on US Route 60 for decades, pleading for information about their lost children, a permanent, haunting memorial to the unproven theory that 5 children survived the fire and vanished.